Hello, artists. Today we are going to be designing a city inspired by the book If the Dinosaurs Came Back. I really like how the book gave very positive and creative ideas what the dinosaurs would be doing if they returned. We are going to be building a city using shapes and lines. Today you will need a white piece of paper, a pencil, an eraser if you make a mistake, and then a black crayon or black marker. Friends, always ask an adult before you maybe use the marker because these are permanent, right? We don't want to ruin a nice chair or a table. We always ask an adult, and usually we have some type of placemat underneath our artwork. If you don't have the marker, you could always use a black crayon. Also, it might be a great idea if you have a ruler. That way you can help draw straight lines. I want you to decide if you want your city to be landscape like this or design it to be portrait. So you can have your paper landscape or portrait. Miss Anderson is going to draw her paper landscape. The first thing I'm going to do is draw a horizontal line across my page. It's going to be towards the bottom, but I'm going to leave room for a road for my dinosaur to walk on because my dinosaur is very polite and walks in the road. Alright, so I'm going to draw a line that goes across like that. Beautiful. I'm going to lower my ruler just a little bit below that line and draw a line across. This is going to be my sidewalk. I'm going to lower my ruler to about halfway for my road, and then I'm going to be drawing a broken line, right? Those are the lines in between lanes so cars know what side of the road that they should stay on to keep our drivers and passengers safe. So I'm going to draw a broken line across. Great. I'm also going to draw vertical lines going up and down for my sidewalk. So far in our drawing, we've just used lines to create our picture. Fantastic. Okay, now we're ready to add some buildings. If you would like, you could use a ruler. I'm going to start drawing a rectangle. This one's going to be a little lower. Your buildings might even look different than mine, and that's okay. I'm going to draw over and up. That looks pretty cool. I'm going to draw a line that goes across. The next thing I'm going to draw is going to be a square. So maybe you're using a ruler or maybe you're drawing freehand. I'm going to put a square on top of a square on top of a square. Oops. No, this isn't a very good eraser. That's why we draw light. So if we make a mistake, we can erase it. I think I'll do one more. Wow, this is looking like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Oh boy. I think I'm going to have a building behind these two buildings. So it looks like that. I'm going to have another building behind, so I'm going to draw a horizontal line connecting and bring it down. Feel free to pause the video or creatively draw your own buildings. You could just use simple shapes like rectangles, triangles, and squares. I think I'm going to draw a big building over here connecting. Big rectangle. And then a smaller one right here. Oh, this is looking great. Now it's for the details. So I'm going to add some details to the roof of my building. I think I'll make a triangle here. And we've practiced this when we created our Paul Klee artwork, right? So we've already been practicing building using shapes, right? It's a little different because it's a city instead of a castle. But I'm so happy that we had that practice before drawing this really detailed city. I think I'm going to have another triangle on this roof. And then even maybe a chimney. I'll go a little closer to my drawing. Oh, I should have done that this whole time. All right. And then a square. Maybe even some smoke coming out. I just did curly lines for that. Yeah, that looks pretty great. Now we could draw maybe some rectangles at the bottom for doors. Okay. Now you can think about adding windows and different details to your picture. Actually, before we start that, I'm going to add my own few details of adding clouds. If you want to add a sun somewhere, remember that big sun that we did for our Paul Klee project? Maybe you have an airplane in the sky. Maybe you have a helicopter. Do you have any greenery on the sidewalk? Maybe there's a nice tree. Maybe you have a person walking. Maybe there's a dog. Maybe there's a car. Oh yeah, this is nice. Okay. So I want you to keep adding details to your city. The next thing that you could do is add the windows. So actually, I am going to add the windows when I use my black crayon or black marker, so I don't have to trace twice. So be careful when you do this. That way I don't have to trace twice. If you want windows like this, you could do rectangles. And maybe for it to look like a mirror or a glass, I draw nice diagonal lines. Okay, So that's an idea for a window. You could also draw windows that have those plus signs in them. So maybe you're going to do 3 across, and you're going to draw a vertical line, horizontal, vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal. It goes fast once you start going. That's a way to draw a window. Maybe you're just going to be drawing little squares. Maybe you're going to be drawing long windows like this. Oh yeah. Alright, so there's a whole bunch of different ways for you to draw your windows. And then I'm going to add doors. Maybe there's even glass in the door. Alright, so I'm going to stop the video and let you work to add your details. I even added a helicopter. Maybe you're adding a sign to your building. I just drew an H so they know that this is the hospital. This building, I did a whole bunch of vertical lines and then horizontal lines to make it checkered. And then I added a lot of windows to my buildings, and I traced it all with my marker, or you could trace it with your black crayon. It's going to really look like the book and the illustrator, what the illustrator created in the book If the Dinosaurs Came Back. So I'm super excited to see your cities when they're complete. Have fun, and I'm looking forward to your creative ideas.